The tragic death of Mr. James Williams is a sad loss to Pembrokeshire, for he stood for something more than mere business enterprise and progress. His one aim in life seemed to be to use his wealth that it should find the greatest amount of employment for the greatest number.
Hey, you there. What do you think you are doing?
That was when I first spoke to Mr. Williams. Well, he spoke to me. Well, at me. He was the man who I thought lived behind the big door, but it turns out that was where he worked. Narbeth's bonded warehouse.
Brenda.
I was given the first of many errands to run for Mr. Williams. I saw how his restless energy transformed his parents' small business into a thriving company where many of the people of Narbeth worked.
Great care should be taken to see that the bottles are carefully labelled, as this has a tremendous effect on the sale of the beer. Number of bottles labelled per hour, with 12 girls on revolving table, is 240 dozen.
And that was how I started my acquaintance with Mr. James Williams. Oh, I'm Brenda, by the way. I passed the warehouse stables on the way to school. I loved the horses, and the delivery men always let me say hello to them. And taking that letter to the local paper allowed me to enter the warehouse, a privilege denied to all my school friends. You see, behind the double locks is a bonded warehouse. This is a secure store where alcohol can be packed and stored before tax is paid to the revenue officers when it is sold.
A bottling hose should be kept well aired, so as to allow no stagnant air to accumulate, as it has a very detrimental effect on the beer when bottled. When no proper current drafts through, an electric fan should be used.
The bustle and innovation of the warehouse was a far cry from my life as a village schoolgirl.
Narbeth School Diary, year 1899 to 1900. May 24th. The children are granted a half-holiday to celebrate Her Majesty's birthday and the relief of Math King, the news of which arrived to the children's great disappointment on a Saturday. September 26th. Attendance affected by blackberrying, nutting, fruit picking and the Whitlam Fair. October 22nd. The school is closed for a fortnight due to measles. February 10th. Attendance improved. The new school managers have put a stop to the employment of the boys at the market on Thursdays. June 3rd. Diphtheria still about. A boy from the lower school dies.
To the village children, Mr. Williams's world was one they could only dream of.
With the arrival of my new manager, Mr. A.E. Chadney, I am pleased to say we are making huge progress in exporting to other countries the whisky blend to which he is an expert.
His business partners and friends were from another class, one that we only glimpsed from a distance. But he always had a kind word for us. There seemed to be nothing Mr. Williams could not achieve as he wrote his letters. And how he loved to write letters.
To the West Wales Guardian. To the farmer, rain, when it is not wanted at harvest time, is one of his worst enemies and spoils the crop. I myself have spent a great deal of time and money on experimenting to fight the elements. I took in freshly mown hay and fixed a crude heating apparatus and blew the heated air into the centre of the rick with very successful results. The cattle simply lapped the hay up.
His fertile brain and lively imagination were forever evolving new ideas and schemes for revolutionising various commercial processes. No matter how far-fetched they might appear to others, he never hesitated to put them to the practical test.
Come here, child. Are you ready? Do you know what this is, Brenda?
Magic?
Not quite. That's electricity.
Mr. Williams's business and his generosity transformed the town. In September 1913, our school lighting was reported as the best in the county. His business grew larger and more successful, requiring less of his time, and he himself looked for bigger stunts and schemes to satisfy his restless curiosity. The indifferent response he received to his suggestions depressed him, and his nervous energy finally weighed him down with tragic results. Three days after an unsuccessful attempt to drown himself by swimming out to sea off Saundersfoot, he committed suicide at home in Narbeth.
Mr. James Williams was one of the most unselfish men it would be possible to find, and it is a great misfortune to us all that he took his own life. To hundreds, his passing is a personal loss. Whilst the whole community can ill afford to spare one who embodied the spirit of Christian charity in such generous measure,